क्वेश्चन क्या है बेटा, a pair of stars rotates about a common center of mass. One of the stars has a mass m and the other is small m. Their centers are a distance d apart, d being large compared to the size of either star. Derive an expression for the period of revolution of the stars about their common center of mass. Compare their angular momenta and kinetic energies. Okay, fine. So now to solve this, so I am going to consider two things. One is star 1 and the other one is, so let's say S2. So from here to here, so there is a, so the distance is d, the distance is d, so d apart. So from here it is, there is a d1. So from here to here it is, it is d2. So as we know that m is equals to m1 and m is equals to m2. Okay, so center of mass phenomena, so we can apply over here. So d1 is equals to dm2 by m1 plus m2, as you know that, and d2 is equals to dm1 upon m1 plus m2. Okay. So what is force? Force is g m1 m2 by d square, is it not? G m1 m2 by d square. But what it is, it acts as a centripetal force. So therefore m1 omega 1 square d d1, I am sorry, d1. So m2 omega 2 square d2. So omega 1 square is equals to gm2 by d square d1. So now this can be written as gm2 by d2 into m1 plus m2 upon dm2, is it not? So m2 gets cancelled. So now omega 1 must be equals to under root g m1 plus m2, g of m1 plus m2, it's completely under square root, so by d cube. So of course this is exactly equal to omega 2, nothing change. Okay, so therefore, so we can write omega 1 must be equals to omega 2 must be equals to omega. So what is omega? Basically omega is equals to 2 pi by t. So therefore this expression can be written as, so t is equals to 2 pi under root d cube by g into m1 plus m2, is it not? So now what is angular momentum? So angular momentum with respect to m1 ratio angular momentum with respect to m2, so m1 v1 d1 upon m2 v2 d2. is it not? So basically m1, it can be written as m1, because already we have relation m1 omega d1 square, so upon m2 omega d2 square. So omega gets cancelled. So now m1 by m2, since this can be changed, this is going to be changed, ये चेंज होता कितना, m1 by m2 इज इक्वल्स टू कितना है बेटा, d2 by d1 है ना. सो ये चेंज होता m1 by m2 into m2 by m1 whole square, m2 by m1 whole square. So L m2 by L m1 is equals to m2 by m1. So this is the ratio of angular momentum, already पूछ लिया. And kinetic energy k m2 by k m1 is equals to half m1 v1 square, half m1 v1 square by half m2 v2 square. V is equals to what? Omega d1. So therefore, so m1 into omega d1 square, d1 whole square by m2 into omega d2 whole square. So this omega gets cancelled. So what you are going to get? So d1 square by d2 square. Already there is a relation with respect to d1 by d2 to mass. So m1 by m2 into m2 by m1 whole square, m2 by m1 whole square. So what it is going to be? So kinetic energy m2 upon kinetic energy m1, so it is going to be m2 by m1. So same with angular momentum. This is the answer. ठीक है, thank you.